What's cracking, soldiers? Manly here at the Man Cave. Happy Halloween to you all. Hopefully you all had a nice weekend and are kicking off this week right by getting swole before you go and get all jacked up at a Halloween party, or if you're still into the whole kitty thing, going and getting chubbed up with all the lovely free candy that is being passed out by all the kind neighborly patrons. Now, I don't really talk a lot about the scientific aspects of training and how it plays into your programming, but I'm a firm believer in it, and I feel like if you have a good grasp on the human anatomy and the human metabolism and how we create energy and the different energy systems that we have in our body, then you will have a good grasp on how properly to program. With that said, I always talk about the energy systems that the body has, like traditionally like fuel sources for a car. So with that, I'm going to give you the 3 energy systems that we have in our body and how to best program optimally around those energy systems. So with that, our first 2 are going to be anaerobic, and here we go. Number 1, the phosphagen system. The phosphagen system uses creatine phosphate to produce ATP, which is basically the fuel source that our body uses for muscular contraction. Now, because it does not have a large amount of it in the body and it's basically used up so fast, typically I like to think of the phosphagen system is kind of like, it's like jet fuel. It burns really fast and really clean, but there's only limited supply. So basically the fuel source is only going to last from 1 to 10 seconds. So a good way to think of this is, like I said, think of the phosphagen system as a good source of jet fuel for very quick explosive movements. And if you were to program around it, you would always want to have exercises at the front end of your program, like any speed work, core lifts that were dynamic or max effort, basically anything that will be fast, explosive, and powerful that would only last about 10 seconds or less. So with that, after the phosphagen system's energy is used up, we go down to the second available source of energy in the anaerobic metabolism, and that is the glycolytic system. So with that, here we go, the glycolytic system, number 2. Unlike the phosphagen system that uses creatine phosphate in order to get ATP for muscular contraction, the glycolytic system uses the body's glucose that it has stored in the liver and in the muscles to transfer over to ATP. It basically yields ATP. And what happens with that is basically after the creatine phosphate is used up, like I said, after about 10 seconds of muscular contraction, you know, those fast explosive movements, what happens is your body shifts over to using glycolysis. And typically in the glycolytic system, we're thinking, and especially with how I program power athletes, we're thinking of a process called fast glycolysis. Now, it's going to be good for about 10 seconds up until about a minute. So a good idea or exercises that would be best utilized in programming here would be typically more your repetitive effort, core lifts, and your supplemental and accessory works. So with that, I'm going to go into the last thing, which as a power athlete I don't really use too much of in my programming, but I got to talk about it, I got to discuss it. The last thing is going to be the one aerobic metabolism that your body uses for energy, and it's called the oxidative system. After both the phosphagen system and the glycolytic system yield their energy, after both those are used up, we go down to the oxidative system, and it's the only one, like I said, that's aerobic. And yeah, exactly, aerobics, you're thinking right here. Anything past a minute that uses oxygen and basically the aerobic system, that's what's going to be, you know, warranted here. So like I said, as a power athlete, you're not really going to program much into it there, but just think of this. Everything in the oxidative system and the energy that it yields and how you would match up a good exercise for that would be always towards the tail end. You never want to front end load with an exercise that is very oxidative dominant. It just doesn't make sense, because that's going to come at the expense of your ability to improve with the exercises that are very phosphagen system or glycolytic system dominant in their uses of energy. So use your common sense, guys. You got a front end load with the exercises that are going to utilize both the phosphagen system, number one, the glycolytic system, number two, and then in the very end, that's when you want to get into the oxidative system. When you're basically finishing up, if you have to do any cardio work, that's when you would plug it in at the very end. So what do you learn from this? It's very simple. A better understanding of the energy systems is going to yield to better programming. If you want to learn more about this, how you can better off your program, then contact me at goelitesc@gmail.com. I love to work with you, whether via email or getting your ass here in the man cave for the November 19th through the 20th Real Strength Seminar. I love to work with you and clean up your form, clean up your understanding of programming, and just make you a better athlete and a better weight room warrior. Contact me. goelitesc@gmail.com. Have a good Halloween, soldiers. Chandler, out.